Hey everybody, it's Biggie. You're in my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make absolutely the best meatballs around. There's no question about it. I'm going to show you how to cook them because normally they're cooked wrong. You don't put them in a frying pan skillet and fry them that way. You don't put them in ovens. You put them in the sauce. I'm going to show you that. This ain't about the sauce. I'll never do a video on the sauce. Make that clear. Everyone has their own sauces. They like what they like. I'm not going to get into that argument with Coke versus Pepsi. But you're going to like this. Pay attention. This is going to be the best meatballs you ever had. Alright guys. Today we're going to do the best meatballs, tenderest meatballs you've ever had in your life. What we got here is about 1.25 pounds of ground beef. I always like the lean, 91% lean. Shallots, pepper, salt, and roasted onion, dried onion. 4 eggs. Large clove of garlic, 1/8 cup of fresh sliced Romano, 1/8 cup of fresh cut Italian parsley, 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. We're going to use just about 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon of Worcestershire, and we're going to mix all our spices in here and mix them up. So we'll be back. We'll get this. Well, forget it. Be back. We'll just do it now. Okay, so we'll start out with the shallots. We're going to use 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, get that out of the way. Go to the pepper. We're using 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Put that over in there. Goes our salt. Same thing, 1/2 teaspoon. We want to taste meat. We don't want to taste spices. Okay, and then here's our dry roasted onion. We're going to go with just a hair under 1/2 in there. Okay. So that's all done. Now we're going to mix these seasonings up. Always mix your seasonings up because we've all had moments in our lives when we've bit into a piece of meat and we've tasted too much salt, pepper, or whatever. So you mix them up so you can distribute a little bit more evenly, and this way you avoid that. The other thing you do is take your meat, sprinkle half your seasonings down, take your meat and flip it over. And then you can finish up the rest. This way you'll have way more equal distribution. We're going to throw in our fresh cut Italian parsley. And you're probably thinking to yourself, that's a lot of eggs, right? It's not. Those are, and we're going to put in the fresh grated Romano. You can see kind of grated large. There's in a hurry. Didn't want to spend too much time. Move this over here, get that out of our way. All right, we're going to pop in the breadcrumbs. Same thing with the breadcrumbs. Equal distribution all the time. Let's flip this stuff around. Get it over with. We're going to open up that middle. I think you can see that. And there we go. Get that out of our way. We're going to do the eggs. Garlic goes in after we do everything else. Yeah, notice no shells, right? Watch me speak too soon. I'll pay for that. There we go. And there we go. All right, and I did get a little piece of shell. All right, now we're going to take this, because this right hand glove is good. Just sprinkle a little bit of Worcestershire in there. Okay. We're going to grab our little knife over here. We're going to smash this garlic up, and we're just going to dice it up real quick. This is just flavoring. The shallots have a little bit of garlic flavoring as well. So this goes really quick. We're going to mix that up. We're going to let it sit for about 15 minutes after we mix it. And then we'll make the meatballs. And then I'll show you exactly how to cook them because, man, people cook this stuff the wrong way. There we got that. Here's that. Okay, let's get this out of here. All right, now I'll contaminate the gloves. Break those yolks up. And here we go. You might be thinking 4 eggs is too much. It ain't even close. This is exactly what you need to do to get the most tender, delicious, moist meatballs that you can have. And the way you cook them is really the other half of the formula here. So it looks a little bit mushy right now. The breadcrumbs are going to tighten up. That's why we're going to let it sit for about 15 minutes. Okay? So we want absolutely equal distribution. Use 2 hands when you make meatballs or anytime you're going to mix anything into ground meat. One hand is just wasting time. You're not going to get the distribution. Here you're really doing it like a machine almost. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, we're good. Everything's mixed. As I turn it, I can see everything's mixed in it. Alright, so I'm going to let that sit for about 15 minutes in the fridge. I'm going to cover it with a piece of saran wrap. We'll be back. We'll do the meatballs, and I'll show you how to cook them. Alright guys, we let this sit for about 15 minutes in the fridge. As you can see, it tightened up. Now, when you make your meatballs, I'm not going to make all these right now on camera. I'll get them caught up. But when you make them, you want to pack them really tight. And you kind of want them the right size. If you like them really big, make, by all means, make them really big. I like to make mine about 1.5 ounces or so. They'll cook down a little bit, and they don't smash out of a sandwich when you make it, nor do you have to stretch your jaw in order to fit it in your mouth. They work well when you make pasta, of course, so average size, 1.5 ounces. You can use a scooper if you want, but this is what this is entitled. I'll finish these up, and then I'm going to show you the biggest secret of all, and that's how to cook them. Alright guys, meatballs are made. Why would you buy store frozen meatballs, which are absolutely garbage, is beyond me, but to each his own. I already started making my sauce. I'm never going to do a video on making pasta sauce. Everyone has their favorites. It's a no-winner. What they grew up on is what their favorites are. It's, the Pepsi Coke thing, the toilet paper on top or on, behind, whatever. So, the secret to cooking this, and this is no joke, this is the secret, right there in the sauce. Never fry them, never put them in the oven. Crock pot is always the best. You can do it on the stove. I like the crock pot so I don't have to babysit it. Okay, this is going to simmer probably about 4 hours. 3.5 to 4 hours. It'll be perfect when it's dinner time, and that's what the goal was here. So you take your meatballs, always firm them up in your hand, where you drop them in, and that's it. They're going to cook. They're going to be absolutely tender. They're going to be delicious. They're going to take in so much flavor. They're going to add so much flavor to the sauce. It's a win. It doesn't matter how you want to try to add this up. This is a big win. I made 20 meatballs out of that chunk of ground beef, so it's probably closer to 1.5 pounds. These are about 1.5 ounces each. You just pop them in there. Don't get your sauce too hot where you burn yourself in case it splashes. You want to kind of get everything prepped and on the go. You want the sauce to get warm. And then just take your fingers, because we ain't going to burn ourselves, and just submerge them. And that's it. So you know what? When these are done, 3.5, 4 hours, we'll be back. Alrighty guys, this is the moment we've been waiting for. So my sauce has been cooking about 4 hours with the meatballs. And remember, this ain't about the sauce. This is about the meatballs. Okay? Why anybody would want to eat those frozen ones is beyond me. But they do. I'm not judging. I'm just trying to figure it out. So those are the meatballs. I'm going to kind of show you how tender those are in 1 sec. But first I got to dress this up. A little fresh cheese. Fresh Parmesan, got to have that. Never the same without it. A little bit of this on top. Let me grab a fork. You guys ready? I made a mess right there. Now watch how tender this thing is. Look at this. Look how delicate this is. Look how delicate. Tender. It's unbelievable. Okay, guys, I'm going to taste this. All right. I'm looking forward to this. I don't know about you guys, but I am. Oh, wow. They just don't get any more tender than that. Make them. You'll love them. And that's the only way to make meatballs. And remember, if you're grilling them in a pan, if you're putting them in the oven, you're making meatballs wrong. Have a good day, guys.